Hello everyone, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, for today we continue on our practical session for advanced database management. So this is practical for cursor. Okay, so we will be discussing on cursor today. So before we proceed to this, let me just show you where you will apply this in your assignment. Okay, so your assignment also you need to create, you need to apply this cursor. Okay, so you will apply cursor on task number 7. Okay, yeah. So each student will produce at least one summary, one detail on and one on-demand report. So you will be using cursor for this one. Okay, for this task 7. So you need to understand on how to create a report using cursor. Okay, can we start? Is everybody ready? Okay. Okay, so for this practical 4, we will be discussing on cursor in PLSQL. Okay, so the learning objectives for this week, we will look at number one, number one and number two only. We will look at we will discuss on what is cursor in SQL, and then we look at two different type of cursor. Right. So next week we will be discussing on cursor for loop, and then nested cursor, and also transaction control. So this one we will cover next week. Okay, so today we look at number one and number two. Right, so the reference. So this one is the previous version. You can actually get the reference for this PLSQL. You can I already shared to you in Google Classroom. You can also search online. So you search for version 21C. Okay, and this one also old one. I'm not sure if you can access this. So you refer to the latest version. But if it's only the concept or the definition, it should be the same. Okay, not much changes. So the first part is for you to understand what is cursor. Okay, so what is cursor? So here the definition of cursor, it's a temporary work area. Okay, temporary work area created in the system memory. So we create this cursor as a temporary work area and create it in the system memory when a SQL statement is executed. So cursor will contain information on select statement. Yes, select statement, and it will you will define the select statement in the cursor and also the rows of data that will be accessed by the cursor. So in other words, a cursor is a pointer. Okay, it's a pointer that points to a result of a query. Okay, so it's a pointer that points. So this select statement is pointing to the row, okay, or to the row that will be accessed by the pointer, okay, cursor. So cursor here is acting like a pointer, right? So I hope you will understand more when you go to the programming later on. Okay. So next is the type. There are two types of cursor in a SQL. So we have implicit and also explicit. Okay. So implicit cursor is the one that is defined by SQL. Okay, this one is defined by SQL. So this one is defined by Oracle. It's defined by Oracle. It's opened by the database, the Oracle database, to process each SQL statement that is not associated with this explicit cursor. Okay, so we look at what is explicit cursor after this. So in implicit cursor in SQL, we have 6 attributes, and each will return useful information. So some of the implicit cursor attributes are these, the most common, the most used one. So we have SQL found, SQL not found, and SQL word count. Okay, so these implicit cursor attributes, it's usually used to determine outcome of a SQL statement execution. Okay, so we'll be using PL block, and for implicit cursor, you will use it in your program to get an outcome of a SQL statement execution. Okay, so this is an example for implicit cursor. So we create a procedure, and the name is adjust price, and then we will be referring to our database from products table in the previous lab in our database that we created during practical one, and then you will begin the procedure. Yeah, and here you want to update products. You want to update products. You want to update the table product, and you want to set the buy price. We set the buy price that we have in products times 1.05. So where the product code here will refer to the product code that we key in here. Mean to say you when we run this procedure later on, it, this statement will be executed according to the product code here. Okay, so here is where implicit cursor is included in this procedure. So we have if if not found, if this product code is not found, then we will give output of no such product. Okay, no such product, and we will output the product code that we enter here. So later we will try to key in product code that is not found, that is not included in the product table. Okay, but if it's found, else if, so here we have a if, else if, and if. So if it's found, then there will be an output of product, and then it will call the product code that you entered here, and then buy price is adjusted successfully. Okay, so and if, and then you end the procedure. Okay, so now I want you to try this just to understand how this implicit cursor uh, count this one. So now I want you to type in this in your SQL class. Okay, so we do it together. So open your SQL class, and you type in this procedure. So please raise hand after you finish typing in the procedure. Okay. Please raise hand after you finish typing the procedure. Yeah? So we will try this. We will test this procedure after this together. Thank you. Okay, so more than half already raised hand. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think we can proceed to the next part. So before we forget, because we have this statement here, the BMS output line. What should we do? What statement should we on? What is the query to on our Yes, you need to type in the set the output, so that you will get the output for your documents uploaded. This one or this one. If you don't on this, you'll not get anything. If you run the procedure, let's get the procedure. Right. So now we want to test. So what will happen now? We will be executing this adjust price, but we need to know, we need to call a correct product code from the table products, right? So how do we check the product code that we have? You can check from your database. Um, so we try one. We see what product code we have. Okay, select product code from products. Okay, so these are, we have 110 rows, so you can select one from here. Okay, the product code. So when you execute this procedure, you must call a correct product code in order for it to run. So what happened now? We call this product code, and then it will refer to the buy price of the product code, and then it will be times with this. Okay, so now let's say I take this one. Okay, I want to test this one. So let's check the price before before we run or before we execute this procedure. Let's check the original price. Okay, so we do that. We want to see the buy price for S10 20116. So we select product code. So now we just want to check the original buy price. Okay, we select product code and by price, just to see the original price from products. We have a condition here. Okay, so where the product code is equals to S10 underscore 2016. Okay. So now this statement is, we want to see this product code and the buy price from table product, where the product code is this product code. Okay. So this is the buy price. So you enter. So this is the original buy price. Okay. So let's see if we run the this one this uh, we run this procedure. Okay. Yeah. So we want to you execute this procedure. So execute um, adjust price, the procedure that we created, and then you key in, or we call the product code S10 underscore 2016. Okay, so you execute now the product code S10 2016 by price is adjusted successfully. So means when we execute this calculation here was done. Okay, so let's check again the buy price of this product code. So this is before we run the procedure, right? So we want to check after we update. Okay, so we check again. So you will see the buy price has been updated. Okay, from this to this. Okay, got it?
Okay.
Okay, so that's this is an example of an implicit implicit cursor. Okay, so I repeat, for implicit cursor attributes, usually we use it to determine outcome of a SQL statement execution. So this is the SQL statement execution. Okay, so we use either this or this or this. We use SQL found or SQL not found or SQL raw count, and usually we will use if else or if else if and if. Okay, so far so good. That's for implicit cursor. So for your assignment, I would suggest you to use explicit cursor. Okay, so why explicit cursor? Because for explicit cursor is a cursor that is defined by user, defined by us. So means we can control what we want to do with the cursor. Okay, so explicit cursor, it is defined by user. So means it's like custom made cursor. So you can play around with it. You can put in your own statement to get your output. Okay, so usually explicit cursor is used to produce a report. Okay, so some information on, or some theories, or some information on explicit cursor. Okay, so we have raw count, and then we have found, we have not found, and also is open. Okay, so raw count is when we open the cursor. Okay, when we open the cursor, so later we look at how cursor is being declared in a PL/SQL block. So we have a raw count. It will yield the number of rows fetched so far. Okay, number of rows, and then found and not found, and also is open. It will return a boolean result. Okay, it's true or false. Okay, so for if it's found, if it's true, so it has some remaining rows to fetch, right? So if it's not found anymore, the the cursor will have no rows to fetch. Okay, so means it will stop there. And then we also have this open. This one is true if the cursor is open, and false if the cursor has not been opened. So this is for explicit cursor attributes. So now we look at how we put in a cursor, or how we include cursor in a PL/SQL block. Okay. So the first one, we have declare. So how do we declare a cursor? So declaring an explicit cursor, will declare it in the under the declaration block of PL/SQL. Okay. So how do you declare it? You will have the cursor, and then you give the name of the cursor. You assign the name of the cursor, and then you use is statement, and you put in your select statement. So you select row from which table. Okay, so you can use any legal select statements. You can include joins, you can also include union, you can also include substitute clause, the minus clause. Okay, so in cursor, that's why I say this cursor, explicit cursor, you can play around with it. You can actually customize what you want to call from your select statement. Okay, so in order for the cursor to be able to be used, you need to open it. Okay, you need to open it in the PL/SQL block. So when you open the cursor name, it will let the SQL commands to parse the SQL query. Okay, so it will check for syntax error. So here after this open command is run, it will let the cursor that we created here to identify the data rows that satisfy the select query that you state in the cursor. Okay, but here in this open, the data values are not retrieved yet. It's not retrieved yet in this open. It just open. It just identify the data rows that you put in this select statement when you declare the cursor. Okay, and then after it's open, you need to fetch. Then you need to use this fetch statement. So this is where you will retrieve the data from your table, from your select statement. So it will load the row that is addressed by the cursor pointer. Okay, so this is the pointer, the cursor pointer. It points to the select statement, and this one, it will point to the row that is addressed by this select statement when you declare the cursor pointer. And then it will move the cursor pointer to the next row if it's still available. Okay, so if it's still found, it will go to the next row to fetch it. Okay, so it will use this one. So if it still has some remaining rows to fetch, so it will go to the next row. Okay, so this is how we write in the fetch statement. You will type in the fetch and then the cursor name, and then you put in the row that you get from this select statement into the record variables that you declare under declaration. Okay, so every time you open a cursor, you need to also close it. So means you release the data within the cursor and closes it. So this cursor, it can be reopened to refresh its data. Okay, so these four items are important when you want to use explicit cursor in your SQL statement. Okay, so let me just recap. Okay, so first, how do you declare cursor? You use cursor and then you give a name to it, and is, then you will include the select statement for your cursor, and then you need to open the cursor, right? And then you will fetch the cursor name. You fetch the data that is um, stated here. You fetch the data from this select statement, and you load it into the record variables of these PLSQL blocks, and then you need to close the cursor. Okay, so you need to look at the programming part for you to understand. Okay, so you will define the cursor under the declaration section of a PLSQL block. Okay, so let's go to the first sample. So this one, this one already provided to you. It's in the .sql. So this one you can use you can either type, or I I strongly recommend you to type so that you understand what you are doing. Yeah, so you can also run the script because it's already saved as .sql. So this first example of explicit cursor, we want to print a report to highlight products. Okay, we want to highlight products that's running low in stock. Okay, so we want to check the product that is running low in stock. Okay, so we will be using cursor construct for this program. Okay, so let's look at the this program first, then after this I give you time to type in the procedure. Okay, so this one we just this one already, we already create this table. This one is here because for you to like just refer for when you do this procedure. So this one you don't have to type. Okay, but if you put in this also, it will not execute it because it's inside a comment section. Okay, so this is just to show you that what are the variables that we have under these table products. So this one we already created this previously. Okay, so this procedure that we want to create now, it will refer to this product table. Okay, so let's look at how cursor is included in this PLSQL block. So we have create or replace procedure with this name. So this is our cursor. No, this is our procedure name, and then we we will insert, or we will key in a, a quantity, okay, a quantity which we define as v underscore low quantity in number. Okay, so this one I will show you in the program where this will be used. Okay, and then is, and then you define your variables, or you define your variables as usual. So for this procedure, you will define this all these variables from products table, and this one is referring to the data type. This one, percentage type here, it refers to the data type of product code in the products table. And what this statement does is the data type of product code will also be applied to the new variable here. Okay, so you see here, product code is varchar 15, right? So it will also apply the same to the v underscore product code, v product code. Okay, so same goes to the rest. So here, this one is referring to the data type of this field inside the product table. So the data type here will be applied to the new variable here. Okay, so it means it will just get the data type of this variable and apply it to the new variable here. Okay, so far okay. Am I too fast?
Okay.
The rest okay? Okay, Ivan okay? Okay, so continue, yeah. So this is where we declare the variable, the new variables here. And then we also have another one. So this is a V indicator. We will see where this will be used in this program. Okay, so this is the data type. So now here is where we will declare our cursor. Okay, so under declaration part, this part, the declaration part, we will be defining our cursor. Okay, so cursor. So this is the cursor name, and then you must have is. Okay, is, you need to type is. This is the cursor name is. So this is the select statement. Okay, select statement for this cursor. So every time this cursor is open, it will fetch the data from this products table. It will select the product code, the product name, the product line, and so on. Okay, so every time this cursor is open and uh, start the fetch, it will fetch this, the program will fetch these variables from the product table products. Okay, can understand now? So cursor, the cursor, how the cursor point to the variables from this table. Okay, so this is how typically we will define or will declare a cursor. So we type in cursor, and then we give a name to it, and then you need to type. You need also include is. So is, it will refer to a select statement. So here this select statement is very straightforward. There's no condition. So it will just select, or it will just grab or call the information for product code, product name, product line, product scale, product vendor, quantity in stock, and also the buy price. Okay, so you need to also include from where. Okay, so from which table in your database. So you must include from which table. So for this program, we will be calling all these attributes from the products table. Okay, and then you begin the PLSQL block. So before we open the cursor, there will be an output of products running low on stock, and then we also see this. So this is a reporting format. Okay, and then this one also. So now we will be open the cursor. So means now it open. So means it will check the select statement here to verify there's no error. So you open this cursor and then you will check this. And then for cursor, usually we will include loop. Okay, so why loop? Because we want to check everything, all the data that is in this products table. Okay, so we always use loop for a cursor to get all the information needed. And then we have fetch. Okay, fetch. So means fetch now. This cursor will get all this right. We'll select all this information from products table. So what happened now? This statement here, it fetch this information and put it into all these new variables that was declared previously. Okay, so means when you open the cursor and then you start the loop and then you fetch the information from this select statement. Okay, so all this information will be inserted or will be assigned into these variables. Okay, so here the product, it will follow the sequence. Yeah, it will follow the sequence. Okay, so product code information will be inserted into this v code, and then this one to this one, product line to this one, and so on. Okay, so it will follow the sequence. Okay, so you will, so here you will exit. Okay, you will exit when this cursor cannot find any more product code. Okay, so this one is the explicit cursor. So if it's not found anymore, the information from this select product, this cursor, it's not found anymore, like already run through all the data, it will exit. Okay, so now we have a condition here, condition statement. So if the product quantity, okay, so we have this one, this product quantity. Okay, so this one quantity in stock from the products table. It will be inserted into this, right? It will update it into this. So if this, if this number, the number here, the product quantity is less than the quantity that we put in here when we execute this procedure, okay? If the quantity in stock, or we already put the value here for the quantity, if it's less than this quantity that we include, that we state here, so what happened is there will be an indicator, okay, an indicator on your in your output with this one. There will be indicator of this. Okay, so all the the product code, the products that that is inserted into these new attributes here, it will check if this the product quantity is less than the value that we put in when we execute this procedure. It will give an indicator of this. Okay, it will print this indicator on your report, inside your report. Or else, if it's not, there will be nothing. So this will allow you, the report is like distinct, the low quality product will, no, not low quality, no quantity, low quantity product will be indicated with this. Okay, but if it's not low quantity, there's nothing Nothing will be shown on in the statement. Okay, we will look at the output after this. Okay, and then you end if. All right, so the most important thing here is here. So I repeat you this one. When you get the information from here, the cursor will put in the value here, and then it will be checked if the product quantity is lower than the quantity that you insert here. Okay, it will give you this indication, okay, in your output, right? And then we have another output. So you will be given the product code, all the information from the cursor, and then you will end loop. Okay, so the loop will end here. So the loop started here and then it will end here. So it will end after there's no more cursor, there's no more product found. Okay, it will exit when there's no product, no product is found for this cursor. Okay, and then we have another output. This one is just to give. This one is to. This one is the report output. Okay, report output, and then last thing that we need to have that we need to do is you need to close the cursor. Okay, so remember we have four items or four blocks of cursor. So we have the we declare the cursor and then we open the cursor and then we fetch the select statement. We assign it into the variables and then we need to close it. Okay, so far okay, can understand this program.
Okay.
Okay, so now I give you, because this a lot, I would prefer you to type in. Okay, so I give you maybe 10 to 15 minutes to type in. And then if you like, if you have error, maybe you have error, you can just copy paste the script. But I would prefer you to type it in so that you familiar with this program. Okay, so please type this program. Okay, but if you think that you understand already how it works, you can just copy paste. So I give you 10 minutes. I'll be back to you at 10 a.m. Okay, so if you already finished, please raise hand using the raise hand function in this Google Meet. Thank you. Type in this, yeah. So remember the table no need. Start from here. Okay. Thank you.
Miss,
Yes, Laura.
the please insert subheading here also need to copy.
Which one? Please, which one?
Uh, at the top,
Top.
the one. Please insert subheading. Yeah,
Hmm?
the
This one?
second. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just insert. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because later it will be used. You will need to actually modify this later on, and you will modify this. Just include it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Still typing. Okay, we will. I will wait. Okay, press hand up if you finish. Okay. Thank you. I give you another maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Then we look at the output. Okay. It's okay, Noel. You can copy paste for now. It's okay. You can check your error later on. How about the rest? Russell, Ian, already done. Solomon done. We wait for another maybe at least half of you finish. Then we discuss the output. Okay. Noel, you can just copy paste for now. Yeah, for a practical purpose or for you to study the report. Another 2 minutes. Okay. If you don't not yet finished, it's okay. You just watch my output, and then you can continue after that. 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so most of you already finished. So we look at the, let's try this, let's try to execute the program, yeah? So, so we have this procedure created. So we want to execute this, this procedure with the cursor inside. So execute, price low stock. So execute this, and then we will key in any quantity that you want to check with um, the quantity that we have in the table. Okay, so execute price low stock quantity, and then maybe try 1000. Okay, so now what does this mean is that this this quantity here 1000 will be inserted here. So if the product quantity of the item of the product is less than 1000, we will see this indication at this at the BMS output for this one. Okay, so you will see it here, the indicator. If there's none, that means it's not low in quantity. Okay, so 1000 here, so we'll key in 1000. So the this statement will check if the product quantity is less than 1000, it will give an indicator at your output. Okay, so run execute this procedure. So you should see something like this. Okay. Mm, see. mm, mm. So here you execute this, right, so it will check with this this quantity. Okay, so this is your report, and then you should see, okay, see here there's no indication, right, so all these are not low on stock, so those with this indication is low in stock. Okay, so this product code is low in stock. So you will see some of the product that's stated here is we have this indication. Okay, so here another one, and it check the rest also. Okay, so we have another one here. So this is this one, this report, as this in the PDF, the output has not been adjusted and formatted properly. So your task later on is to modify the code to produce a readable report. Okay, so here, like it's hard to read, right? So you try to um, work with the output later on and try to format this report. Okay, so you see indication here, so that means this product code is low in stock, less than 1000 quantity. Okay, so here the total, it will this product, this procedure will process all product code that is included in the table. Okay, so we have 110, and then this one indicates the product low in quantity, which is less than the quantity that we entered. Okay, from this one, this part here. Okay, and then you put in end of report, so the procedure is successfully completed. Okay, so your task for this sample is for you to adjust the output to be formatted properly so that we can read it properly. Okay, so another there's one text file in your in the Google Classroom. You can get it in Google Drive as well, for example of how you should format your report. So you can refer to that, or you can do your own research on how to format this report. Okay, all good. Can we continue to the next one?
So the cursor must be inside the procedure.
Yes, cursor must be a cursor. This cursor is defined inside a PL/SQL block. Okay, so same thing with your assignment. You will use cursor and you will declare the cursor inside a PL/SQL block, PL/SQL procedure.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so for this one, for this case, okay, for your assignment, you can use similar something like this. Not necessarily like this, like too many, right? So maybe up to you. You want to include everything, or you want to include just some, just to show a report for your assignment purpose. Okay, but I would prefer, as long as I can see you use a cursor and you have a readable report in your assignment, it's good enough already. Okay. So any question before we proceed to the next one?
No.
Okay, so the next one is when we have two cursor. We use two, means we declare two cursor in one procedure. Okay, so we want to print all the details of each customer. Okay, so this one is also an example where you can also apply for your assignment. Okay, so you use two cursor to print all the details of each customer. Okay, so we'll refer, because we have two cursor. Why we have two cursor? We will be, this program will be referring to two tables. Okay, table order and table order details. Okay, so this one we already created previously. So the cursor will actually refer to this two table. Okay, so we have, as usual, here, we create the procedure with this name, right? And then there will be no input from the user. There will be no input, so it directly declare the variables. Okay, so it declare the variables from orders table, and then it refers to the data type of the variables from here and apply to the new variable. Yeah, similar to the same to the rest. So they here there are three variables that this procedure will use. Okay, from all the details. Okay, the product code, quantity ordered, and also price each. So here is where you have the cursor declared. Okay, under declaration you declare two cursors. So we have order cursor, and then we have another one, order detail cursor. Okay, so we'll look at how these two is being used in this program. Okay, so we have the first cursor, order cursor. So we select these variables from orders. Okay, no condition here, but for order detail cursor, this second cursor, we there is a condition where the order number here, order number is referring to the new variable here. Okay, so this one, it will actually refer to the order number that is a that is called from this new variable. Okay, so what happened here is that this cursor will open first, and then it will fetch the data and put it into the new variables, and then the next cursor will actually refer to the new to the data, or to this new variable, which the data already fetched from the previous cursor here. Okay, so it will refer to this the data that is fetched from the previous cursor. Okay, so we'll see how a cursor can work inside a cursor in a cursor. Right, so this is the declaration part. So this one from orders, and then this one from order details, and we have a condition here. Okay, so begin. Okay, we begin the block. We begin the statement, the execution. So first you open order cursor. Okay, open order cursor, and then you fetch. Okay, fetch, you get the information from, you select all this data from these variables, you put it into the new variable that you declared previously. Okay, similar thing with the previous sample. And then here we will use while. Okay, while the order cursor is found, if it's found, if it still can read, there will be a loop. Okay, there will be a loop. So you will give output of customer number, the order number, order date, when it's shipped, the required date. Okay, and so this one is your output while the order cursor is found. Okay, so all the information that you get from these order cursors, this select statement, you will get this output. Okay, so inside the cursor, still inside the order cursor, we open order detail cursor. Okay, inside while this loop is still running, at the same after it finish this, it will also go to this of second cursor. Okay, and then you fetch the information from the cursor, load it into these new variables that was previously declared, and then another while. Okay, another while statement. So if while the order detail cursor is found, there will be a loop where you will provide output of this output. Okay, the product code, the quantity ordered, and the price each. And then we will also do another fetch. Okay, after this happen, you do another fetch from order detail cursor, put it into product code, the quantity ordered, and price each, and then you end the loop. End the loop and close the cursor, this cursor, and then give this output and of customer, uh, show the customer number, and then you fetch again the order cursor, the previous cursor, and you put it into these variables, and you end the loop. Okay, the first loop. This one is ending the first loop. This one. Okay. So and then as usual, you close the the cursor. Okay. So here the order detail already closed inside the cursor, and we close the main cursor or the cursor then end. Okay, so this one, because we don't have enough time, I let you can copy paste. Okay, copy paste, or you can do later after this. I will show you how the output will look like, and then you do on your own. Okay, so let me just show you the output. How is the example of output? Um, Jangan copy paste lah. I want you to type after this. Okay? Don't copy paste first. You see we discuss the output first, then you type, and then you see your output. Okay. Okay. So let's this execute this procedure. Okay, so there will be no input here. We'll refer to the select statement from the cursor. Execute. So you will get this output all the 110, if I'm not mistaken. 100, customer. Okay, so let's see some sample of the output. Okay, right. So here, let's look at the first one. So we execute the price order detail, and then we have the customer number. This one. Here, the business output. The first output is while order cursor is found, we loop with customer number. It show the customer number, and then the order date. We fetch the order date, ship, ship, and the required date. Wait, date. And then we have the second cursor output. Second cursor output is the order detail. So we have the product code, this one, product code, and then the quantity ordered, and also the price each of this product code. Okay, so it will loop until it cannot found until it finish looking for the order detail of this customer 363. Okay, so remember this output of order detail cursor will always refer back to the customer number. Okay, so this order details is referring to this customer number. Okay, so now your task is to type in all these codes, this program, and then you suggest how this report can be improved. Okay, so you see, like just now I run the program, right? Very, like, it's very too many, just run everything. So maybe you can suggest on how this report can be improved, maybe the format or any improvement that you can think of. And then this one I want you to do, modify the procedure to accept customer code as input. Okay, so this one is actually also an improvement, where you will actually input the customer code instead of you listing everything. Okay, so you will, when you run this procedure, you will input customer number here before this S. Okay, so you type in all this first so that you understand how this program works. So we have two cursor here, and it relates to each other. So this cursor actually refers back to the first cursor, and this cursor actually run or open when this first cursor is still running. Okay, so you can also apply this in your assignment if you want. So that shows that like your cursor you apply cursor in your database. If you apply this, maybe you can get more high mark. Okay, but of course, if it's you just provide the basic one, like the first one cursor, it's already fine. Okay, so any more question before I let you do this second sample?
So the task is the homework.
Yeah, I will open a assignment letter. So your homework for this week, for this week's practical, is from the first sample, is for you to adjust the format properly. I will state in the assignment submission after this. This one you adjust properly so that you can read the report, produce a readable report for the first sample. And then the second one I want you to do is this one. The second task, procedure to accept customer code as input. So you can still can use the same code, but you modify to get a customer code as input and print all order details for this particular customer. Okay, or will state in the submission after this. So first, now you type in this one. First, try to run this so that you understand how this works. This sample two. Okay, can you do that?
Okay.
Okay, I'll open the assignment submission for homework this week for our practical session today. So thank you everyone. If you have question, I will still be here. This one sample two, Calvin. This one. Just you execute the name of the procedure. You don't have anything to key in. Okay. You just use this name. You use execute. So it will list all the customer related to that cursor. Okay, Calvin? Got it? Yeah. No semicolon is fine. Because you don't have anything to key in here, unlike the previous one. Calvin, okay? This one. I thought my screen is shared just now. Like this. Got error when you so the does did the procedure created with no compilation error? Okay, compilation created, compilation run with error. Ada error ka? Got created. Is your the name correct? You need to execute got error. What's the error? Yeah, you need to have the same name as what you created as the procedure name. Okay. This one you miss the details. S of the details. Can already. All right. Make sure you check again your procedure name. Okay. Okay, students. I hope you're doing your program. So there are two tasks. Let me just share to you the tasks that you need to do for this practical session for this week. Uh, so you need to submit two things. Mm, So this is your submission for this week. You need to submit. Okay. There are two tasks here. So according to sample one, you modify the code to produce a readable report. Okay, produce a readable report. And then task two, using sample two, you modify the procedure to accept customer number as an input. Means you input when you execute the procedure. Okay, and you print all order details for the customer that you input for the procedure. Okay, so you need to submit your answer, your scripts, and also your screenshots. Use Google Docs to submit. Okay, so for the first task, I think there is one resource here. This one formatting output. So maybe you can refer to this, or you can do your own research on how to format your report output. Okay, and for the second part, the second task, this one you can check again our assignment, our practical last week for PLSQL procedure. Maybe you can get some idea from there on how do you include an input from user for a PLSQL procedure. Okay, so please submit this. I have put a due date for this one, so I can detect who submitted. Okay, so the previous one I see like still no progress. Some like one or two only submitted, like no progress. So please make progress of your practical submission and also do this submission for today session. Okay, so thank you so much everyone for today. I appreciate your attendance and your participation. I'll see you again next week for our during our lecture session. Thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.